So we're just barely into spring, but the Climate Prediction Center is already watching for the development of La Niña conditions this summer. Joining me to talk about this is our weather friend from the Houston Chronicle, meteorologist Justin Ballard. Welcome back to Weather Now.
Thank you. No stranger to this.
Not at all. Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Okay, good. Yeah, Saturday was amazing. It was just fantastic.
Perfect.
All right, so let's talk about La Niña. We usually don't talk about La Niña's impact on our weather in the summer months. Why is that?
Well, there's a good reason for it. First of all, during the summer months, you know what's not over us? The subtropical jet stream. That's typically too far to the north to really bear much of an impact on us here during the summer months. So temperatures and precip actually are very average. You're actually seeing there the article that posted just earlier this morning on the Houston Chronicle's website. So yes, La Niña is back for the summer, but it's not likely going to impact us as far as temperatures or precip go.
Okay, but there is one critical aspect of La Niña that we do watch for along the Gulf Coast because it has an impact on hurricane season. So walk us through how wind shear is affected by what happens with La Niña.
So wind shear is the speed and wind direction change with height. And typically when we have La Niña years, when we have La Niña patterns set up, you see that reduction in wind shear across the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. So what that means very often is you see more storms, and sometimes those storms are stronger.
Hello 2020.
Exactly. And especially once they get into the Gulf of Mexico, there's really nowhere for any kind of tropical systems to go but a landfall somewhere.
Right. Once they're in the Gulf, it's pretty much guaranteed you're getting a Gulf landfall. Okay, so related to the tropics are the sea surface temperatures, which surprisingly, because we think La Niña is cooler water in the Pacific, but it can lead to warmer sea surface temperatures elsewhere. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, when we're looking at sea surface temperatures, especially along the equatorial part of South America, northern South America, you see that little thin kind of almost a ribbon, not quite fully there yet, but a couple of blue areas. This is basically showing you the difference from average of sea surface temperatures, so water temp anomaly, cooler temperatures, upwelling happening along the equator. Elsewhere in the Atlantic, you see a lot of oranges and yellows. That's indicative of warmer temperatures.
Wow.
Yeah, bath water, really.
And these are the actual, those were the anomalies, above or below average. These are the actual temperatures right now. Crazy to see. We've got the low 80s going on in the Caribbean. So technically,
80 is kind of that threshold, right? We look at that number to really kind of give us an idea of what potential there may be for tropical systems to develop.
And then you look out in the Gulf of Mexico, and now we've got temperatures currently in the mid-70s, so not yet warm enough to support tropical development.
Give it time.
Yeah, and then right along the upper Texas coastline, it's still a little cool.
Yeah, upper 60s, you know, from Galveston. So I don't know if it's quite, you know, dip your toe. It might be dip your toes in, but it's not fully get in the water yet.
I did a polar plunge when it was in the mid-50s. I survived.
Oh,
so,
it's nothing then.
Yeah, you'll be just fine. They'll probably laugh at us on the West Coast because of how cold it is out there. Okay, Justin, thank you very much. We do certainly hope that this hurricane season ahead does not bring the storms, but we know that we've got a La Niña, so more favorable wind shear for storms to develop, and just how warm the temperatures are, I know has a lot of hurricane forecasters concerned.
Last landfall was 2021, September, with Nicholas.
Yeah, but the most important thing is no matter how many storms form is where they go, and that's why we prepare the same every season, because it just takes
You just never know.
one storm.
That's right.
All right, thank you very much for that.